How you doing? It's Peter from the Saltwater Edge, and one of the questions we get asked all the time is how do I change the cutters on my Van Staal pliers? And so we asked Craig, the national sales manager, to come by and do a complete overview. There's some nuances as it relates to the different sizes. He's going to cover all of that in this video. He spent a fair amount of money on these pliers, going to make them last a lifetime. Here's how.
Hey guys, Craig with Van Staal. I want to introduce you to the titanium pliers. This is the 7-inch, which is a great surf plier, made of solid titanium, bronze bushings, and tungsten cutters. So this plier is designed where you could literally store it in salt water and it'll never corrode. So it's one of those things you could keep in your surf bag and is always going to be ready to fish when you are. So one of the things you do have to change over time is your cutters. And today what I'm going to do is show you how to correctly replace your cutter and anvil on the plier. The cutter is an FP7009 and the anvil is an FP7010. On the 7-inch plier, you're going to use a number 15 Torx wrench. On the 6-inch plier, you're going to use the number 8 Torx wrench. Okay, and it's very simple to go in. Remove the screws here to replace them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take them both off and then we're going to replace them because this is a new pair of pliers. And you're going to spin those out. Make sure you put a lot of pressure in it so you don't round off the Torx heads. And if you look on the inside of this, you're going to see a wire that's made of tungsten here. So that tungsten is a line keeper that keeps the line on the cutting edge. So if you have a fish and you're leadering it, you want to cut it off, or you're just reaching up to cut line, it's always going to stay on the cutting edge. A lot of guys look at that and they think it's a wire in there and they yank it out. And you'll see that the cutters themselves have a detent so that that wire slides freely back and forth on them. All right, so now I'm going to go in and I'm going to reinstall the cutters themselves like you would get them from a retailer. And I'm going to slide it into, all right, you can't screw it up, they can only go one way. So they're designed when you put it in to fit only one way. And I'm going to put on the cutter, which is on the jaws side. And you're not going to snug those down when you put them in. You're only gonna hand tighten them until both of the cutters are in place. And the key is to seating these is once you go in, the line keeper is sliding underneath the cutter and the anvil well. I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna squeeze it. Okay, and that's gonna set both of the cutter and the anvil together. And while you're holding it tight, you're going to go in and snug them both down. And then what you're going to do is test it on some braided line. So what we're going to do, I have some Berkeley X9 here, and we're going to go through, and it cuts right through every time.
Hope you enjoyed the video. We hear all the time of different stories where pliers come in handy outside of fishing, so if you have one of those stories, please put it in the comments below. We try awfully hard to keep the cutters and anvils in stock in both sizes, so hit us up if you need them. You know, the only thing you can't find at the Saltwater Edge is more time on the water. Tight lines.